Hey guys, welcome back to Big Girls Official. Liz and myself are back to bring you day 3 results and analysis from this year's World's Strongest Man Heats.
As always, this is your daily reminder that there is no live stream and we don't have any footage, and this video contains spoilers.
So guys, we're going to start with the deadlift because we missed that on our day 2 results program.
We needed bed.
We did. It was just getting really late. Didn't have time to get into that. So for those that know the results of the deadlifts already, Liz has put some timestamps down below so you can just jump ahead to the next event. Okay, so we had 3 heats that were doing the deadlift. Firstly, very quickly, I'm just going to go through the rules. So it was a 345 kilo deadlift, which is approximately 760 pounds. The athletes had 60 seconds to do as many reps as possible. And this deadlift it's pretty much a standard deadlift, but just slightly higher. It was about a 10-inch pull rather than the standard kind of 9-inch pull that you have in powerlifting. So group number 1. A strong group of pullers, and this is kind of like we said yesterday, interesting. Depends on what group you have, who's in your group, what events you have. It all mixes things up, as you'll see with some of these results. So group number 1, we're going to start with the winner, Jerry Pritchett, showing he means business this year in awesome form. We know how good a deadlift Jerry is. Came in 9 reps to take the win. Second place, Gabriel Pena, he got 8 reps. Luke Richardson, a surprise for me, with 7 reps. And I say surprise because he's done some incredible things in the gym recently. If you go and look at his Instagram pulls, people are talking about him having a crack at the 400 reps record, maybe a future max, record holder, and he could well be. But only managing 7 reps here, and I say only 7 because it's 3rd place, but 7 reps in some groups would have been a lot higher. And then Para Dwyer, a great performance, hitting 6 reps. And then finally, Robert Oberst, I feel doing what he needed to do, getting the 1 point he needed on the board. He knew these other guys. It was a stacked group of deadlifters. Robert notoriously isn't a fan of deadlifting. He's more of a squatter, an overhead presser. So I think probably just doing enough to get the 1 point rather than burning out energy, maybe getting 4 reps and still only getting 1 point. So, Jerry Pritchett, great start for him.
Yeah.
Looking absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
You said he would.
I did. I'm so happy. I like Jerry. I'm happy for him.
I always, when I was talking to you the other night, I was like, Jerry has to win this group to get through. And that was always my worry for him. But he's coming in shape. He's looking good. Anyway, let's move on to group 2. I won't. I should know better, really, shouldn't I? You usually get it right over me. If there was money, I'd love it if we could bet on Strongman.
I know.
You'd make a lot of money. I'd probably lose it, but Liz would make it. Anyway. Group number 2. Now this really was a stacked group of deadlifters.
Yeah, this was hard.
Now let's remember, Group 1's winner got 9 reps. This group had 3 athletes hitting 9 reps. That's, you don't...
Sucks, doesn't it? Because that's obviously a max effort. They haven't done that by choice. They need the win.
We've seen, Evan Singleton, if you follow Evan, he's been hitting 900-pound deadlifts recently. His deadlifts improved massively, and he's come last in this group with 4 reps. Then Kevin Ferris with 6 reps, and Kevin's a great deadlifter, 900-pound plus deadlifter, 6 reps, only good enough for 4th place. And then you have a tie between Adam Bishop, Shivlikov, and Mark Felix.
Oh, Shivlikov getting himself in there. How do you do that?
Shiv is an unbelievable lifter.
He is, and I know he's an absolute machine, but deadlift for reps, I never would have put him with Adam and Mark.
No, we all know how good Mark is, and in recent years, Bish has kind of seen himself as one of the absolute elite deadlifters on the planet. But Shivlikov just kind of back from his Masters World Record, which was, if you haven't seen it, possibly the hardest pull to completion that I've ever seen in my life. It was one hell of a lift. I'm pretty sure that was his prep for this. He's done that, then he's deloaded from then until now, and he's finally recovered and put in a great performance, obviously.
I haven't recovered from that lift yet, but I'm not sure he has.
So, 3 guys hitting 9 reps, 4 points for each of them. Kevin Ferris coming 4th, Evan Singleton 5th. Final group of deadlifters, Group 5. This had Terry Hollands, Brian Shaw, Ava Schmuckstellis, Luke Stoltman, and Nick Best. And when we look at the other groups, not the strongest group of deadlifters. Not saying they're not the strongest group of deadlifters, but the results a little bit lower than some of the other groups. So You told me you saw somewhere.
Yeah, so apparently Terry said on Instagram that him and Brian had agreed to do 6 reps and take the tie rather, and I'm guessing just to preserve some energy so they didn't have to sort of, work to a max effort.
So I would be guessing the way this has worked is that Brian and Terry were the last guys out. And if that was the case, that sometimes is a thing. I know people have asked questions before of, do athletes kind of work together sometimes to help each other out? And yes, sometimes it does happen, particularly if you're in a good position with another athlete in the heats. You don't want to kill yourself. So if they've seen, I mean, if we say the results, Nick Best, unfortunately only 1 rep, normally a great deadlifter, coming back from injury, very, very short notice. Yeah. He's clearly not in his best shape this year.
No.
But like we said, he stepped in the day before the contest.
Yeah.
Luke Stockman hitting 5 reps. Ivers hitting 5 reps. So Brian and Terry, I think, went out and agreed to hit 6. They're trying to both get through and save as much energy as possible. I've done that before, myself and Jeff Caron.
Yeah, with the squats.
1 year I had a squat. We were the last 2 guys to go in the group. 4 reps was 3rd place. Rather than killing ourselves, we were both capable of 10 to 12 reps. Rather than pushing that hard for that 1 point, we both agreed to do 5 reps. It would give us both 5.5 points. Doesn't really change too much in the overall as we both went on to qualify. But it's a risky strategy depending on,
And what's coming next?
I think when JF and myself did it, we were both quite clearly ahead of everyone else. So.
Also, it wasn't last man standing stones in the same respect. It was, but everyone got the shot. Do you remember the last place guys went until failure, then someone came in, then finally you came in, because you came in last and you did qualify from your group that year? Do you remember?
I can't remember. I've competed world so many times. The years kind of merge into one. I can't remember if that was that year or not.
2016 Botswana, I'm certain. Okay. But what do I know?
But that's the deadlift. We just wanted to quickly recap that for the guys. Obviously, we missed it out from day 1. But let's get today's results.
Yes, because this is what's really exciting.
Okay, guys. First event from today was the loading race. And this included 5 objects from a monster truck. Very, very quite cool, I think. Unique way of doing the loading. It's nice to see events that athletes will have to really kind of think outside the box a little bit, work out the awkwardness of the objects. They're not the heaviest things I've ever seen you have to load. I think the objects range between about 200 to 300 pounds, I guess. Maybe I think it was slightly lighter than that, to be honest, but awkward looking objects.
Kind of took me back to the old days of Strongman, like where nothing was standardised and it was really weird things that they would.
It's one of the cool things, I think. Yeah. If it's always the same sacks and barrels, it becomes a little bit boring. I think just being able to adapt to things really kind of separates a lot of strongmen. But it was, I think, visually it will look quite cool on TV.
Yeah. Be interesting. So heat 1, Luke Richardson won the event, taking 5 points. Then in second place,
needed 5 points as well.
Yeah,
good performance from him.
Yeah, no, that was good. And then Par O'Dwyer with 4 points. Again, Par needed a
good for Par as well. Like his first time at Worlds, he'll give himself some confidence there that he sort of belongs, and he'll go away and I don't feel he's going to be challenging to get through. He's had a bad start, but that'll put him in a much better place mentally.
Par was another that came in quite last minute, didn't he? So, he just took the opportunity because he'd be crazy not to. And
damn right.
It's a great learning experience, if nothing else. Then Robert Oberst in 3rd place. Does that surprise you with OB?
No, to be honest, Luke, Obi, you look at the times, there's not a huge amount of difference between that group. It's not the fastest group, actually.
No, Obi and Jerry were very close as well. So Jerry took 4th place in this event. And
first little blip.
Yeah, it was, because obviously he's won the last 2. And we know Jerry's a static monster. Although saying that, he won the farmers. But
farmers and loading are different.
Yeah.
I'm really good at farmers and yoke, whereas loading... Yeah, sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yeah.
And like we said, they're awkward objects. I mean, you would expect with he's like a welder, I think. He's used to kind of working with...
his hands. Why'd you have to make everything dirty?
That's you. You're the one... I'm thinking of someone doing their welding job, and there's you kind of trying to make it dirty. Anyway, Jerry Pritchett's still in a good position overall, but I'm sure he would have rather placed higher on this one.
Of course. And then Gabriel Pena, unfortunately, he had to withdraw. He was taken sick. We don't know all the details, so we're not going to speculate and guess. We have seen rumours online, but obviously we just hope he's okay.
Send him our best thoughts and hope he's okay. First time at Worlds, obviously proven how strong he is with some of the performances so far. I'm sure he'll be back and better than ever, but wish you a speedy recovery.
Definitely.
So group number 2, and this group is getting tight. Tight. Kevin Ferris taking first place, loading all the implements.
Smallest guy there as well, by quite a bit.
He is the smallest guy. He's approximately 120 kilos.
Yeah, and he's not particularly tall either, is he? Is he about...
But strong as hell, very, very good at moving. Grip is good. Nice performance for him on that.
Yeah,
you'd expect with these awkward objects, sometimes the bigger guys with the longer levers can be good, and he's proven that that's not the case at all. Excellent time as well, quicker than a number. Well, he would have won in other groups as well.
Yeah. Adam Bishop up next. Adam, we know, is great at loading. I mean, Adam, when you see him loading, it's usually events like Britain's Strongest Man, where he's against, say, a Tom Stoltman, who is excellent at loading. Yeah, but Adam's a great loader.
He's a great athlete, all-round athlete, and he needed those points, to be fair.
Yeah,
so it's kind of helping him claw himself back into the contest after what was probably a weaker start for him.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the start
he wanted.
No.
Evan Singleton, another 3rd place this time. Yeah, good solid performance. Again, you look at the times, there's not a huge amount between them. You've got 42, 44, 46.
Yeah.
They're pretty close times. Shivlikov coming in 4th. And then Mark Felix, unfortunately, only managing 4 implements. Do you think that's going to hurt him? I think he probably would have needed to do better.
Yeah, that is going to hurt Mark, because we know we've got the overhead coming, and that's historically a bad event for Mark. So
I mean, he's done well so far. I just feel that this was an event he really needed a better performance in.
We know, Mark's a really good stone lifter. I remember 8 to 10 years ago, Mark would have won the stones in Britain. He was probably the best stone lifter, alongside maybe Terry Hollands.
Yeah, Mark's always been a good stone lifter. He's very capable, and it just comes down to pressure sometimes on the stones. But it's a very tight group at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see
who gets the opportunity to do it.
Group 3, and you just mentioned Tom Stoltman being good at this. He's put the best time out of everyone, and this is an interesting event because every single athlete's done this one. All 5 groups doing the same event. Tom Stoltman with the best time out of everyone. You can see there, under 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Awesome performance by Tom, and he needed it. He needed to start kind of clawing his way back in. I think with the stones as the last event, he'll feel in a much better position right now.
Yeah, he's going to feel happier now, yeah.
He knows if he can just get into that stone off, he's got a great chance.
Yeah.
Maxime Boudreau coming in 2nd place, and an excellent time as well, 42 seconds. Alexei Novikov, Trey Mitchell, and Gav Bilton. I believe Gav picked up an injury.
I think Gav has since withdrawn from the competition. It doesn't say that on this sheet, but I think he has. We'll check.
I'll tell you one thing. I miss being out at Worlds. This sitting at home with you trying to find out the results on the internet. I feel for for you guys watching every year, and for wives and partners that can't always be out there, and not this year none of them could go. No. It's terrible.
It is terrible. It is terrible.
It's much easier just competing.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful to watch. There's some excitement of watching a spreadsheet, but only because you're here. When you're not here and I'm watching it, seeing if did he die? It's just the worst thing in the whole world.
Anyway, we're group number 4. JF Caron, and I said he's coming in shape.
Yeah.
He is absolutely dominating.
Go on, JF. We like
big JF fans
here. We are.
He's started brilliantly. He's won, what's that, every event so far?
Yeah.
3 events in a row he's been first or joint first on.
Knocking it out of the park, JF.
Good performance by Ethor coming 2nd. Bobby Thompson 3rd, Graham Hicks 4th, and unfortunately Irvin Toots has had to withdraw as well. So
he's
another
had a small injury.
That happens at Worlds, as you well know.
Yes.
Hopefully he's okay again. I don't know what's happened to him.
Colin said he was carrying a small ACL injury coming in, so he's probably.
I like how, as a strongman, an ACL is it's a small injury.
To
some people, that's the end of the world.
Merely a flesh wound.
Yeah, we're a tough breed.
Yeah.
Hicksy,
He would have wanted to do better than that, obviously.
I think if he can a big log performance and get himself into the stones, he's still got a chance. So I'm still keeping my fingers crossed. But JF looking absolutely rock solid,
untouchable in that group.
And then finally, group number 5. Now, we spoke about Brian and Terry sort of working together and Brian saving energy. Now, I don't care how big a Brian fan you are, you can't say he's just saving energy now.
No one saves energy and plans to come forth in anything. I don't believe that. So we know, looking at this group, we know how tight it is in the sort of mid to bottom part of the table. So Luke and Ivers absolutely had to go gung-ho on this because they both really needed to win it. So obviously Brian would have been aware of that. Terry Hollins is great at loading as well. As we can see, he's placed above Brian. And then Nick Best also only managing 4 implements. But again, that might be something where...
I think Nick, fair play to him for stepping in.
Yeah.
But, it's like asking me to step in right now. He's just had surgery. I'm not in shape.
No.
If I went to... One of the reasons I wouldn't go now and I haven't entered any comps... people have tried to get me into a few this year.
Yeah, like last minute.
I just know I'm not going to be a challenge. And I think, unfortunately, he's not in his best shape. He needs 6 months recovery, getting himself back to his best. And he's a threat. But unfortunately, he's just not had enough time.
No.
But Brian Shaw coming 4th.
It puts him in a slightly vulnerable position. I mean, I don't think anyone doubts that Brian is absolutely...
Brian is a great dumbbell presser, but Ivers is a great dumbbell presser, and Luke is a great dumbbell presser.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Brian is a fantastic stone lifter.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
I'm sure he's in the back of his mind is kind of thinking, okay, worst case, I'm in the stone off and I'm a great stone lifter. But he's never been in that position before.
No, he's always
Brian has always won his group for the last God knows how many years.
Yeah.
So it's showing...
We're so used to seeing Brian at Worlds just do exactly enough to win his group and look so comfortable doing it as well. I think last year was the first time we saw... maybe he won't, but he did. And that could
Brian
turn
is
again.
still a threat, and if he gets to that final, it all starts from zero. I'm sure he focused more on the events for the final.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's just showing that
nothing's certain or guaranteed.
Exactly that, and that's the only kind of point I wanted to get across with that. You've got so many great new athletes, and it's a hard thing for us older athletes to take.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to sit here and take, but. It's just life. I remember watching old World's Strongest Man shows where Magnus Ver, Gerrit Badenhorst and Riku Kiri, as 3 of the top 3 from the year before, didn't get through to the final the following year. You get that changing of the guard. And, I'm by no means saying Brian is done, but I do not believe he's just holding back now.
No.
I think, that event, £200 thing, it's not a heavy implement for these guys. And maybe the younger guys are just quicker. And like I say, events make such a difference. But the dumbbell as well, I'm thinking, if the dumbbell was a real heavy dumbbell, say like a 120 kilo dumbbell,
that would suit Brian better.
I think that would suit Brian. He's just that little bit more than methodical, a little bit slower. I think someone like Ivers is going to be quick. He's going to be fast. He'll get through it.
Brian
how many reps can he get in the time limit?
Yeah.
If they're both strong enough to, I think it's only a 220 pound, so 100 kilo dumbbell is the last dumbbell. That's comfortable for both these guys. We've seen videos of Ivers doing 10 reps with that, and Luke's a great presser as well.
And Luke's not going to make it easy. He's going to
have to
all
fight.
out. Yeah, he will.
Otherwise, he's going home. So he's going to have to fight. It's going to that group is the exciting one.
Yeah, that is exciting because we know Terry overhead is his weakness. Nick Best also. I don't even want to guess because
it's a hard one.
It is a hard one, yeah. We're just going to have to wait and see. It hasn't happened yet at this point, so we know the log results, but right this moment, we do not know the dumbbell results. So we're waiting with bated breath, aren't we? What time is it here in the UK? 10 to 11 at night. We may not sleep tonight.
Okay, guys. Now it gets exciting. On to the deadlift? No deadlift.
No lift.
You're excited.
I think you're a bit excited.
I'm excited. I am. I want to see what's going on. I hate this having to search online for the results. It is quite exciting. I'll be honest.
Who knew spreadsheets could be so exciting?
I haven't changed my mind. I want to be able to watch this live. Okay, I'm still with you guys on that. But we're having fun trying to find out what's going on. The log lift. Group number 1. Liz, tell us what happened.
Ooh. Okay, so winning the log lift was Jerry Pritchett with 9 reps. 9 reps, Jerry.
Jerry's, like you said, he's a powerhouse. He's
beating Rob Oberst as well, who was the American log lift record holder until obviously Rob Kearney.
Are you saying another American beat him at log?
Oh, don't even get me started. Just so people know as well, we don't hate Rob. It's a long running joke that all Brits hate him and he hates all Brits. So we will absolutely rip him to shreds at any given opportunity. It's just what we all do.
Rob behind the scenes, he's a good guy.
Rob is really lovely, yeah. But we hate him. Can't stand the bloke.
But we do love Jerry.
We do love Jerry, yeah. Jerry's just a nice guy. Okay, so in second place on the log lift anyway was Luke Richardson. So he got 8 reps as well, but he did it faster than Rob, so he is
weird when they do that.
It is weird.
Some competitions, they'll tie
split
the
points. Yeah, but here they've done it on time. So Luke has an extra point over Rob. And then Parr got 5 reps, which was a decent result for Parr. But what we can see from this sheet is that Jerry Pritchett has qualified for his group and Luke Richardson and Rob Oberst are having to do the Atlas stones. Now, they have ditched last man standing, but they've replaced it with something. I'm not sure yet.
From what I gathered, it's an 8 stone Atlas stone run. So just a normal stone run between 2nd and 3rd place.
Yeah.
8 stones each.
Fastest man wins.
Now, my issue with these type of last events, just between 2 guys, if this was a normal competition, Luke Richardson should be in the final now.
Yeah.
If you look at the way it's set, if everyone was to do it, he's 4 points clear. Mm-hmm. He should already be in the final. That's not me kind of putting anything down on Robert or anything else.
No, he would.
I've just been in that position before as well in groups where I don't personally feel it's fair because the events you've done previously don't mean as much. Yeah. It all comes down to one event. So that's my gripe with it. But I get that out of the way. Anyway, Jerry Pritchett is through that group. We're going to have an exciting stone off between Luke Richardson and Robert Oberst. The one thing I will say, I think the fact that they've got a stone run now rather than the stone head-to-head is better for whoever's in second place in the group getting through to the final. It's not going to kill them as much as potentially, like Tom Stoltman said, I'm prepared to do, if someone wants to do 21 reps, I'm going to do 22 reps. They're not going to have to exert their body to that extreme level.
And from what we hear, they're not the heaviest set of stones either. Apparently it's from 100 kilos to 170. So.
Which is light.
The world's strongest man.
Yeah, but 8 stones as well.
Is a lot.
It is a lot. But saying that, they were talking about a heavier stone.
They were talking about doing 186 stone, so I think.
I'm going to guess maybe the reason they've changed it is more for venue. Possibly damaging the floor. Yeah, I don't know. There could be many reasons, but they've changed it anyway to more of a standard stone.
I think visually this is going to look better. I hope they're actually going at the same time though, because from what I can gather, for a lot of things they're going on their own. So
yeah. We'll see.
I want a race,
You want a race?
I do. Well, I don't. I want to watch one.
Last time you and me had a race.
Oh, no one needs to hear that story there.
So, group number 4, JF Caron only needed to do 1 rep on the log, so he only did 1 rep. We were just talking earlier about saving energy.
Yes.
He's come in and done exactly what he needed to do to get his points. He is into another World's Strongest Man final.
And fresh as well. Really, he's only had to do 3 events. That's incredible. A bit, in order to qualify.
That's the weird thing with the heats as well. You know, it's so important to get to that final without killing yourself.
Yeah.
He's got there just doing 3 events.
Yeah. And JF has been excellent in the heats in the last couple of years. He's just been really
he's
smooth, he's
been fifth and 4th at World's Strongest Man the last 4 years. That's solid performances.
Yeah. And the 3 guys that beat him last year are not here this year. So, I know he's
and honestly, talking to him before Worlds, he feels in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
He's been my pick from the start to win.
Could be the first ever.
Now, that's not
Canadian.
to say he's going to, but I'm going to stick with him. I'm sticking by him.
Be stupid not to.
Well, he's had a great start.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. We're going to... do you want to do the results from the log?
No, I can't read it.
So, I'll Graham Hicks doing exactly what we'd all expect from him on the log, winning the log. He really needed that. It's given him a good 5 points and put himself into the stones.
Yes.
Ethor got 6 reps, but it hasn't been enough to change anything overall. Obviously Irvin pulled out, and Bobby Thompson doing enough to make sure he stays in that stone battle. He knew he couldn't catch JF, so I think Bobby's probably also just been smart, done the rep to get the point, and it's going to be a battle between Bobby and Graham Hicks.
Just before we go, I want to give a really quick shout out and thank you to, and I'm going to butcher his name now, Ilua Fortnish.
That was good.
Ilua Fornish.
That was quite close, wasn't it? This guy is the guy who creates these spreadsheets, and he does it every single year. This isn't like the first time, and I always use his spreadsheets and follow them.
Some people have been claiming that these are done by other people as well, so we wanted to give this guy a shout out because he puts so much effort in. He's been doing it for years now.
Yeah, and also he was kind enough to create me my own one so that it was easy for me to format into the video. So thank you so much for your help today.
Okay guys, that's us up to date as it stands. It's going to be a late one for us. We're going to stay up, find out the results of the dumbbell and the Atlas stones. We'll bring those to you as soon as we can. We've got the dumbbell to come later, and then the stones. It's going to be an exciting evening.
I feel so anxious. Why am I so anxious?
I'm not even competing this time.
I know, I care too much.
While you're here guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.